Kona, the podcast inspiring entrepreneurials in South Africa. Because if it's going to be, it's up to me.
It takes at least 3 years for your business to stabilize and be in a good place. If you're not going through struggles, then you're doing something wrong. You really sell what you believe in. There's no way for them to say no.
Welcome back, boys and girls, ladies and gents, to Kona. Because if it is going to be, it is up to me. And we are here again to share an inspirational story of being entrepreneurially minded. And I'm excited to have our guest who's been in an industry that is one of the biggest in the country, and also has been working in that industry, transforming it in many ways and innovating in many ways as well. We have today our guest Charne Karaolis, and thank you so much for joining us, Charne.
Thank you for having me.
It's really a pleasure to have you here. Of course, you were sharing at a high level about using innovating in things like virtual reality in the construction and built environment space, which is and mining as well. These new technologies go into that space. But you are the founder and managing director of MSHEQ Health and Safety Consultants, and also you started the initiative Women in Health and Safety, because there's also a problem in the industry. Can you talk us through those problems and how you identified with them and how they inspired you to grow the business?
Yes, sure. So we deal with two different sides here. We deal with normal compliance, health and safety, and then we deal with women in health and safety. So I think there's two different problems also. For the normal health and safety, mining, construction, I think the biggest problem, not so much anymore, but the biggest problem at that stage was people wanted to get production done. It wasn't all about making sure our employees are safe, making sure that people are going home to their families at night. It was, we need to get the work done as soon as possible, as quick as possible, and as productive and as profitable as possible. So there was a big shift in the industry. I think a few years ago, there was bigger fatalities, bigger accidents, bridges falling on the highway. And I think the shift came then when people realized that we need to do this safely. We need to make sure that people are coming to work and are going back to their families at night. So my problem was, number one, dealing with that, getting management committed to making sure their employees are safe, and getting the DMR involved, and on the mines, making sure that the highest level management makes sure that these guys are safe and healthy. We forget it. This year we've been reminded about health quite strongly. And then with women in health and safety, the mine is not the place for a girl. The mine has never been a place for a woman, and neither has the construction industry been. And but now they realize that they need us. they need us, and we are good at what we do. But also getting the mind shift for men, that women can do what they do. It's not a sexism problem. We're not saying men is bad. We're just saying, there's also a place for us there. There's women out there that really want to work underground. They've got a passion for it. That's what they want to do. So let's give them the opportunity. And we can't do it the same way. Men and women can't be treated the same way underground. There needs to be change, and there needs to be shift. But I think the biggest problem there was just getting men to welcome women in their industry, and I think we're there. I think we're halfway there. Only I've said this in another interview, but only 10% of construction workers is women at the moment, and it's little, and it's not enough, but we're getting there. Slowly changing. So you either have to be innovative or really have strong standards. That's the only way to get over hurdles. And any good entrepreneur will tell you that it takes at least 3 years for your business to stabilize and be in a good place, for it to grow and actually make profit, which is the bottom line. We want to make profit. And if we can, in the meantime, change people's life and inspire them, then do that.
Why is it that it's important to not give up, even when it is difficult in those 3 years? Because many entrepreneurs, many young people, when starting in their careers or their businesses, will have those and want to give up or think that this is not for them, have doubt in themselves. For you, how did you overcome, if there was that doubt? And through those years, what would you say as advice to be resilient?
I always say to the ladies in my office that if you're not going through struggles, then you're doing something wrong. The best way for you to learn and be better and do better is to have problems and struggles. So we had those. I had many nights of not sleeping, thinking, is this worth it? Is it worth having, I can just go work for someone and earn a salary and go home and sleep like a baby at night. But you really have to believe in what you believe in. Like, you have to put all your power behind it and go for it. There's gonna be struggles all the time. And I love what you're saying, but you really have to believe in what you're doing. Yes.
More than, for you, where did that come from? What made you believe when you were doubting?
Yes, I can tell you that we, for the first 2-3 years, we did it to make money. We wanted to have a business to make money until we realized that we're not doing it for the money anymore. We genuinely want people to be safe. And that's the difference. That's when the mindset changed for all of us in that company. And that's when we actually started to make money. The moment that we decided it's not about the money. Yes, we have to pay the bills and there's salaries and all sorts, which is a struggle by its own. There's some months where you just have bad months and there's some months where you have good months. But the moment that we realized that we genuinely want people to be safe, we want people to go home at nights, that's where it changed for us.
Powerful. And that connected then with what you really believe. And very powerful that when you wanted to have people safe, that's when the business actually started flourishing financially as well.
And other people buy into that, other your clients. And if you go and into a boardroom and you really, really sell what you believe in, there's no way for them to say no. They won't say no. You need them to buy into that vision.
Beautiful. Selling your belief, your passion, your purpose is an undeniable sale.
Yes.
And that's what really connected the belief and got you through the difficult times. Very, very powerful what I'm hearing, Charne, around solving the problem should be connected to your purpose.
Yes.
And something that you really believe and passionate about, and that's what drives you beyond the challenges and beyond survival into thriving. I heard a quote once that says, as an entrepreneur, as a leader, you should not try to manage people, but manage purpose.
Oh, yes.
And continuously inspire, like you're saying. And so for you, when it comes to inspiring, I think this is the core of what we're trying to chat about here. Some people can start their business and say it's difficult to find what I really want to do, or not start a business because I'm still trying to figure out what does inspire me. Yourself as someone who's living a purpose-driven life, what would you say were the things that triggered it for you, and that you would suggest to someone, if they're not quite sure yet, what are the things that they can do to start walking in that direction to be an inspired living person?
Yes. I think that you know in your heart. I don't know what you call it, but you know. I don't know if it's in your gut, but you know in your heart what it is that you are passionate about. What excites you? What makes you stay awake at night thinking about this? What is it that makes you different? And also then, if you decide what that is, go and decide, is there a place in the market for that? number one, is there a place in the market for that? How many of those are around already? And if there is, the competition is always healthy. There's so many health and safety consultants in South Africa at the moment. But we embrace that. We embrace the competition. We try and connect with our competition to see, what's the trends in the market and how can we help you and how can you help us. So decide what it is that you want to do. See where you are at with that in the market, and then decide what it is that you need to do to make you stand out. If you're going to go for it, and if you're going to start it, what do you need that's your niche? What is going to make you stand out? Why are people going to come to you? Is it because you have a different service offering? Is it because you're passionate about what you do and you can genuinely sell this? Decide what it is that's going to make you stand out in the crowd and do that. And then just jump in. You just need to jump in. You don't need to overthink this. You don't need to lie awake and be calculated about it. Just jump in. Jump in, work as hard as you can. Don't give up. There's going to be so many no's. We have had meeting after meeting after meeting. But for every no, there must be a yes somewhere.
What would you say to Charne today, 16-year-old Charne, and she might want to start a business one day? Would you still want her to dance or to start a business?
No. If I was 16 years old right now, I'd absolutely want to dance. That's all I wanted to do is dance. You don't think about anything else. But to my own 16-year-old self, I would have also taken some time to think where I want to go with my life. It all happened very quickly. When I was 16, I was dancing at the World Championships in America. So that was so far apart from where I'm at now. I think that for a 16-year-old to realize what they're going to become, it's far away when you're 16. So when you're 16, finish school on a high. Get yourself as qualified as possible after school, even in whichever industry it is that you want to go in. I'm such a firm believer that you need to get yourself very qualified. And in that journey, while you are studying, start surrounding yourself with people already. Even if it's some of your teachers or lectors or whoever, start surrounding yourself with people that can walk the journey with you. People that you want in your life for the next 20 years. People that can see you grow and that can help you whenever you feel like you can't anymore. But that would be one of my first pieces of advice: is get qualified. Have something to back your voice up.
And that's around the skills that are necessary today and in the future, like you're saying, thinking about 20 years into the future and who you want.
Even if you don't know what you want to do right now, if you know that you want to become an entrepreneur, go study some sort of business qualification. You can use that in any field, but just start somewhere to get qualified. And it will also give you the confidence. Being more qualified gives you the confidence to believe in yourself, to believe in what it is that you're selling, or to make yourself feel like you really know what you're talking about. No one can say anything like you know what you're talking about. So get qualified, surround yourself with the right people. And remember that there's a big difference between confidence and arrogance. It's so important in the business field that you shouldn't be arrogant. Even if you're very highly qualified, be confident but not arrogant.
There you have it, guys. You've heard it here first. Siyabulela, thank you very much, and thank you. We have been very inspired today by Charne telling us that education is actually one of the key components, and really education is more than school. You're saying get qualified maybe through experience and get qualified and have actually a qualification or skills that will build your own confidence and also certify that you know what you are talking about and what you're doing. Charne, thank you again for sharing your thoughts, sharing your wisdom and your journey. Absolutely inspirational, and we wish you more and more prosperity.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, guys. Now, if you were inspired today, remember, always share it with someone. You may never know whose life you might change. We spoke about passion, what we believe in today, and how that connects to building the right skills and having the right people around you to work on your journey and walk with you in your work. So thank again, Charne. It's been a pleasure, and thank you always for joining us to Nam Ngiakhona. We will see you next time.